I love it when a plan comes together.
Hey guys, hello gorgeous. Welcome back to the 80s Toy Museum. Happy to hear so many of you enjoyed your first visit. Thanks for all the great comments and sharing your precious plastic memories of the biggest toy store there was as well. For today's virtual tour, we'll begin again with the southeast corner. Last time we took a look at Kenner's Centurions and a couple obscure lines from the 80s. On the other side of that corner is a collection of 80s animated and live-action TV show memorabilia. Starting at the bottom is everybody's favorite Dodge Charger. It's the 1/16th scale Ertl General Lee jump car from Dukes of Hazzard, with two G.I. Joe sized vintage figures inside. Dem Duke boys, Bo and Luke Duke. Even though these figures are considered 1/18th scale, I prefer going with 1/16th scale cars. 1/18th scale model cars rarely have enough room to sit a figure inside with their elevated seats. I have a 1/18th scale General, but wasn't able to fit the figures inside. No issues with this slightly larger vintage Ertl General though. Beside the General is the Faceman's Corvette from the A-Team, also by Ertl. It's plastic, it's simple. The decals haven't held up over the years.
Oh, come on, admit it. You just don't like my car.
But it's got sentimental value.
I like to take good care of it, Hannibal. I'm real sentimental.
There weren't many toy or model versions of the Faceman's ride made, and the Galoob version didn't have a roof. This one looks quite nice as long as you don't look too closely. And I also love the fact that it has its original box, and wasn't too expensive. A good deal can often make a toy even better. Next up is a couple more offerings from Stephen J. Cannell Productions. First are the 5-inch 8-team figures by Galoob.
If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team.
These figures were awesome. They came with all sorts of cool gear like belts, harnesses, backpacks, and guns. As usual, Hannibal has to have the biggest gun. A machine gun he affectionately refers to as Baby. He's on the jazz, man. He's on the jazz.
Oh, Hannibal, love the jazz, man. You love the jazz.
Oh, lighten up, fellas. You gotta do these things with style.
In behind these soldiers of fortune is a giant plastic Ertl A-Team van. This is an odd piece since it seems like it's in scale with the larger A-Team figures, but the seats inside actually fit the smaller G.I. Joe sized A-Team figures. It looks nice in behind as a display piece though. And another classic Cannell show, probably my favorite now after finishing season 1, it's the Plastic Coyote from Hardcastle and McCormick, also by Ertl. Like the A-Team van, it seems to be in the scale for 5 or 6 inch figures, but the seats will actually only fit G.I. Joe sized figures. I've got a couple of custom hardcase and skid figures inside so the Coyote can drive, and a lifter underneath so it can jump! Next shelf up is another version of the Coyote which I recently did a video for, the 1/16th scale die-cast version by Ertl.
How you cooking?
With some more custom Hardcastle and McCormick figures. You might be wondering why it's not on the same shelf as the other Coyote. The simple answer is I tried and I didn't like how they looked together. I thought the bigger Coyote looked great on the same shelf as the big A-Team van, and the smaller Coyote looked better on the same shelf as this guy. Diamond selects glorious 1/16th scale Kitt from Knight Rider, the limited edition from Entertainment Earth that included a Michael Knight figure. And as usual, Michael has a damsel in distress in the passenger seat.
Is there a young lady in the vicinity? Really, Michael? You're so predictable.
I had been hunting for a vintage Kenner talking Knight Rider for ages until I got this glorious Trans Am. Tons of lights and sounds, great detailing, no scuffs or scratches, and unlike Kitt, very affordable. Check out some of these sound effects and phrases from the show.
May I suggest you put the car in the auto cruise mode? Michael, I
Kitt's iconic scanner lights up and is animated. And you also get some great heads-up display lights lighting up in the car, along with some brake lights. And if you want the scanner to just run non-stop, you just hold the button in. Even though I never did track down that vintage Kenner Knight Rider, I did get one of the Michael Knight driver figures from that set. Looks a lot like Mark McCormick.
Well, you're right.
Is that legal?
Look who's worrying about legal.
Remember, one man with a multi-million-dollar supercar can make a difference. Next shelf up is a couple more Soldiers of Fortune.
I love it when a plan comes together.
The toys I have in this museum are mostly from the 80s, but I do have some modern updates because sometimes the update captures the look of the character better than the vintage toy did. Even though these A-Team figures and van are from the movie from a few years ago, they perfectly captured the look and tone of the A-Team. It's a testament to how much I love that movie that these guys have a spot on a shelf in this museum. If only all reboots could remain so true to the source material.
You don't mess with it, kid.
These are G.I. Joe-sized figures with nice detailing and weapons. The van is great too, almost an exact recreation from the 80s TV show. And it features lights and sounds from the movie. And if there's something strange in the neighborhood, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Doctors Venkman, Spengler and Stantz, Mr. Zedmore, and Slimer from the real Ghostbusters by Kenner.
I've been slimed.
Yuck.
Along with the Ecto-1 from the Extreme Ghostbusters, since I preferred the look of that version over the actual real Ghostbusters Ecto. This one has lights and sounds. Just as annoying as the real thing. I love it. And Janine Melnitz is behind the wheel.
I'm a Ghostbuster!
Always remember, don't cross the streams.
Why not?
It would be bad.
I got it on low power.
Nah, I'm sure it's fine just this once. Next, we have some heroes in a half shell. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. In front are the updated Classics figures that came out a few years ago, which look like they leapt right off the screen of the classic Turtles cartoon. Lots of articulation in these figures for all sorts of ninja poses. In behind are carded figures of the Turtles from the 2003 series, which look more like the original Turtles figures.
Hey, those dudes look just like us. Don't flatter yourselves.
Some great modern interpretations of the Bodacious Four. And one shelf up is some original 80s Turtles toys.
Hey, Michelangelo, how come you're not shouting cowabunga? Well, to be honest, I'm getting kind of bored with it.
In the middle, we have a reissue of the Turtles Party Wagon. Behind the wheel is April O'Neil, just like in the cartoon intro. On the left, we have the original 4 Turtles from 1988. It's pretty cool having the originals, but what's not cool is plastic breakdown. Playmates didn't splurge on the high quality stuff like Hasbro did back in the day, and so like many vintage Mattel figures, the plastic on these guys is getting sticky. If you're a stickler for owning original figures and frown upon reissues, this is something to consider next time you're about to pass up that minty fresh, clean, and cheap reissue of your beloved classic character. Also with the Turtles is Master Splinter and Casey Jones. Goongala!
Casey Jones is gonna clean up this city.
On the other side of the van is some baddies. Reissues of Shredder, Krang, and an original Baxter Stockman. In behind are the classics Bebop and Rocksteady, because I thought their scale was off compared to the classics Turtles. I wanted them to tower over the other characters, so now they do. Next shelf is a character most North American viewers won't be familiar with, but the folks in Japan are probably shouting, "Shoot in!"
Shoot!
It's Iser! This was one of my first memories of watching a cartoon. Iser was adapted for North American TV and reissued under the Force 5 series as Iser. It features a giant robot piloted by Duke Fleed, aka Orion Quest in the English version.
Orion Quest!
And the robot flies around in the saucer section, called a Spazer. He's got all sorts of awesome attack moves, which he shouts out before doing.
Show them boomerang! Screw crusher! Space thunder!
I tried to rewatch some of the old English episodes, and man, they haven't aged well. But then I tracked down the original Japanese versions with English subtitles. Space Thunder, they are amazing! It's like a totally different show. Extra scenes, slower pacing, more mature story, better in every way. And the best part? Duke still shouts the Iser attacks in English.
Space Thunder!
A forgotten classic that I wish got more love on this side of the planet. This collection features Bandai's amazing Soul of Chokujin Iser with Spazer and all his add-on accessories, along with a Metal Tech Iser figure, Chrome version, High Dream's Waterfall, which Iser emerges from whenever Vegans attack,
Iser! Go!
some small PVC figures, and the Dizer shooter head, where Duke can eject from the Spazer cockpit into Iser's head. This little collection makes me rainbow beam with joy. Next up is another Japanese classic that got an English dub, Voltron, Defender of the Universe.
Mega thrusters are go!
Let's go, Voltron Force!
This version is the Trendmasters release from 1999, which forms a giant 21-inch Voltron when the lions are combined. The lions are more to scale with the classic figures than the original Panoche Place Voltron was, and feature light-up eyes. I've also got the Mattel Voltron figures from a couple years back, all except for Keith, but Sven seems to work just fine with his black outfit. I always thought it was weird that the red pilot had the black lion, the blue pilot had the red lion, but the green pilot had the green lion, and the yellow pilot, the yellow lion? The black lion is unfortunately made of very brittle plastic, and I've had a shoulder joint break the last time I carefully tried to combine them, so they'll be staying in their ferocious lion modes for now. And the top shelf features one of the coolest, creepiest lines of the 80s, Sectars by Coleco.
These are the Sectars, the warriors of Symbion.
These were some of the most fun toys to play with. The Dragonflyer and Spiderflyer have working wings, and are hand puppets too.
Let's ride for the Shining Round! For the Shining Round!
The figures had some nice posability for the time, nice sculpts with clean paint jobs, and great accessories like belts and tons of weapons. The smaller insects were cool too, and had different play features like biting action, grappling hook, and working wings. The leader of the good guys, Dargon, had two versions, one with the Dragonflyer, and a silver version with glow-in-the-dark parts and insect.
An invisible warrior that flies night missions and launches surprise attacks against evil sectors.
While I wasn't too hands-on with most of my toys growing up, or today for that matter, this was one of the most fun toy lines to throw and smash around. So that's part 2 of the 80s Toy Museum virtual tour, and there's lots more to come. Part 3 will feature the big 3 of the 80s boys toy lines, G.I. Joe, Masters of the Universe, and Transformers. Thanks again for all the bodacious comments. I still remember years ago looking at my collection, most of it boxed up in storage, and thinking, you know what? I could probably fill a room with all this stuff. All I needed was a plan. And I love it when a plan comes together. Share if you like the video, leave a radical comment below, dude. And to join the tribe, hit subscribe. Namaste!